volunteers are getting kind of bored sitting there and not having anything to do. And then he made the comment that they applied for some money from the city, yeah, like $500 or something to help with their bills and whatever. And he said some of the, I don't know, city council people or who, but there were comments that were made that the city shouldn't have to give them money because they were renting from the rec center, and that would be like giving the rec center extra money if they gave it to them and they used it to pay rent to us. So we would be getting more money from the city than what. And I thought that doesn't have anything to do with it. You know, they have other expenses besides their rent. And if they were somewhere else, they'd have to pay rent. So that didn't make sense to me.
Why didn't this come up when they decided they want to use the rec center?
Well, see, I suppose they had asked the city for money and that got that thrown back at them. So
instead of asking the city, why don't you suggest that they ask the county for money? Because it is a county.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Adam just happened to make that comment when he was telling me about our funding and then asked about how they were doing. So, I mean, it really, it's their problem, it's not ours.
Yeah, no.
But I just, oh,
Yeah.
I just wanted you to be aware of that with some of the comments that were out there. We're kind of getting close to that too. Had a complaint from a member one night because we had basketball practice in the gym and they couldn't use the gym, and they just bought a membership, and by God, they should be able to use that gym anytime they want to. Simone tried to explain to them that according to the 28D, the school gives the time to those elementary kids for practice. Not our.
Want to walk?
No, they came with their kids and they wanted to shoot hoops. And sometimes when the coaches don't have very much, they'll let whoever be on the other half. Well, the coach that was there that night wanted the whole gym. They don't want anybody in there. So we had a little tip about that. The volleyball people were unhappy last week when they couldn't play volleyball. Well, they could play volleyball, but they couldn't play volleyball in the gym. We had the pipeline thing going on in the gym. We had the Weight Watchers. We had James Love and Logic people in here. We moved the volleyball people up to the racquetball courts, but Simone called them and told them, you know, our gym is busy tonight. We had to put the pipeline people in the gym. If you want to come and still play, you can play in the racquetball courts. Well, they weren't happy with that. They called Marty and put her at home.
Well, no, they did come.
Well, then they came after
They came. They were told ahead of time. They were upset that they got their card punched because they came. Then one person thought that they should get in for free.
Right. She told Marty on the phone that if we can't play in the gym, we should get to come in and play for free. And that's what Marty told her. No, we'd have to bring that up at a board meeting. And then she came in and told Simone that, yeah, Marty told me I got in for free because we're not in the gym. So.
My feeling is if you were told ahead of time, don't have your card punched, go home.
So anyway,
I got a couple of items that I'd like to throw out just for thought. One is that there's a number of things that could get done around here that Chris might need help on. My suggestion would be make barter for a membership where that person or persons could come in and don't, you know, they would have to put in X number of hours, we'll say a week, depending upon what Chris had, but in lieu of payment, they would get a membership to the rec center. So that's something for you guys to think of, and I'm thinking one or two possibly people, but that would allow you some of these little projects around here that don't seem to get done, or somebody's complaining about we need to get them done, and you're trying to do all the rest of this, then I'd help you out that way.
Or pay for a punch card. Or pay toward the punch card.
Right. Yeah. It's just along those lines. It's kind of a barter type thing, but at the same time, it works well for both people.
well, yeah.
The other thing that probably has already come up, so I have to apologize for my ignorance, but I'm new here, but we realized that this wasn't the Sac Community Recreation Center, but if it was just the Sac Community Center, we would be eligible for a lot more grants out there that come by my computer through both the feds and the states. if we, you know, if it ends up being Sac Community Center, it's still Sac County. When it specifies recreation only, then you immediately, I'm talking government people now, you know, okay, they're thinking, well, okay, all we've got are the jocks down there, and it eliminates the elderly, it eliminates the kids, so on and so forth. So you see X number of thousands of dollars being applied to grants available to certain groups, but if they make it as non-specific as possible, it seems like they're the ones that get the most money.
Well, I can see that, but I guess my question is legally, how do we change our,
Yeah, I don't know. I can ask Debbie, she might know.
Yeah, well, yeah, especially if you're on a 2080 agreement with, you know, it's just a matter of filing it with the state. You know, it's just going to be a name change and you file it with the state. A 2080 is basically a mutual aid agreement.
Now doesn't, like, we've got that, we're considered a 501c3, that it doesn't matter?
No,
changes
that
the
would,
name?
yeah. You can have the same thing, you know, as a community center. It's just that you are eligible. So what we ought to do is look and see, you know, I'm just throwing that out there as a suggestion, but I'll guarantee you there's a lot more money out there that would be available that we would qualify for as a community center, as opposed, I mean, nothing has to change inside, but the name would change.
So it might be as simple as just a name change.
Absolutely. And then, and as long as that's on your letterhead, you make your application. Okay.
Well, now would be a good time to do it, because your 2080 goes all over again in July again, doesn't it? Don't you have to redo it
Does that have
again?
anything to really do with the 2080 though?
I don't know.
I don't think it does. I think, though, that it has to be when you make that change, here's the new name. But we'll look into that. I can call the state and ask them specifically.
I even see some of the stimulus monies going to some community centers.
Yeah.
Not ours.
One last thing, I talked to Molly's got a Kids World, evidently they're getting pressure again to share with us, so we'll be working on some ideas of programs that we can do together. Again, I think it goes back to the money that came up before. Cities giving us money, giving them money, so can't we share, so they don't have to give each of us, I don't know. They don't understand that we're different, and it's not that easy to mosh together. But I
Share
did.
what? Like share what?
Well, that their kids should be able to come and use our facility for free or for reduced cost or, you know, whatever. But they don't understand, you know, like our summer rec programs, if one kid wants to come, they either have to bring the whole group or, you know, they can't run one kid here, one kid there, and you know what I'm saying?
Although you could really have, like, especially during the daytime, let them come over to satisfy the city
Well,
and say,
that's what
okay,
we were wondering, you know, and we were wondering too, she said they take them, like in the summertime especially, they take them to the pool on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. She wanted to know if it would be possible to bring them here like on the days that the pool is closed. And I said, well, we'd have to figure out the lifeguard issue, but if we, you know, we've got these lifeguards, if one of them could come, then we could do that. Especially if the outdoor pool is closed. The other thing is, if they could just come and be in the gym and do games, you know, could we do maybe just a kind of group price for the whole thing? Because, I mean, they charge, you know, like she said, when we take them to the pool, the parents pay extra for them to be able to go to the pool. She said there's no reason the parents can't pay extra for them to come to the rec center. But maybe, you know, it's maybe not the whole $4 or 50 cents. Maybe we can get a lot of, discount price for that 1 hour that they're going to come or whatever. Do their thing in the gym or whatever.
I think it would go a long way to make the city happy.
I think so too.
The city council.
I think so. Now I know even before Molly was there, I talked to Joanne Jacobs, the same thing, and we're like, well, yeah, we'd love to do stuff together, but we don't know how to do it. We don't know how to make it mesh so that it works for us and it works for them, and just because we're both getting city money doesn't mean they should come use us for free.
The lady out there This actually, we skipped during the holidays, so this
Okay.
is the last
This
week.
is the last week,
Yes.
so you're starting over?
Next week.
Next week,
Right.
okay.
All right?
Okay.
Excuse me.
Is that it, Chris?
I guess